Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Mech Lab, where we will be discussing everything to do with Battletech. In our first episode here, I'm just going to be going over the tools that I use in order to run Battletech online, and the tool is namely Megamek. It is a fantastic tool. It's really great. You can play online with your friends anywhere in the world. You just have to have access to a server, and I'll be going over a couple of things in future videos on where you can find some of those servers, where you can find some people to play with. But first off, we got to just go over quickly the three main programs here, right? We've got Mech HQ, which can be used to run your Battletech campaigns. You can buy and sell units, you can repair things, you can customize units and have your mech techs refit them over time. Megamek itself is used to actually run games, right? You can play against the AI here, they call it Princess, and you can pretty much run whatever kind of units you want: infantry, aerospace, tanks, hover tanks, obviously mechs, right? And then Megamek Lab down here is where you can customize your own mechs. I've spent hours in here just messing with different designs and figuring out how to make the best possible battle mech out of a particular chassis, right? So if we pull them up here, we got Megamek Lab. I'll be covering this in a future video. We have Mech HQ, obviously. Again, I'll cover that later. But right now we've just got Megamek up, and this is the version that is used on the server that I play on, the MRC. I'll go over the MRC and what it is in a future video. They run tournaments pretty regularly, once a month, and you can go on there and play a competitive Battletech against different people. So first of all, when you load it up, it's not going to look like this. In order to get the dark mode, which is what I prefer, you're going to want to go into, I believe it's client settings. Yeah, you go into client settings and graphics, and then under UI theme, you just want to select flat dark, or you can change it to whatever you want, really. I just do this one, update, yeah, and then you do that. Easy thing you can do to sort of start building a list. This is a great way to build a Battletech list as well. If you just want to bring it to your friendly local game store or something like that, you can go in here and you can say, I don't know, maybe you want a Wolverine. Wolverine. So we go to this thing, and then we can click through all of these, and these are all like different sort of releases, right? So your experimental tech is going to be like the really high-end stuff. Currently, they're running a Dark Age tournament, so we can run these like really high-tech advanced mechs. A 587 Wolverine. It's got like MMLs and all kinds of crazy stuff. Case 2, really fantastic. But maybe we just want the classic Wolverine 6K, tanky sort of brawler. Or maybe we want the 6R, which is, oh, not the 6R. I think it's the 6M. Is it the 6M? Yeah, this one. This is kind of like considered to be one of the better mechs of the 3025 Succession Wars era. Really good armor and good armament and everything like that. 585 movement profile is pretty premium. But yeah, I just wanted to do a quick video sort of summarizing what these are and basics of how to use it, right? You just hit select here, and then you can go in, and if you want a crab as well, the crab 20, we just got a couple more large lasers in there. Maybe to round it out, you want an archer, right? Oh, we want the Archer 2S. Oh, the 2915, great. Yeah, but maybe you're running Succession era and you can't run this one, the 9KC. It'll show you up here the year that it was introduced and when you can run it. Some things are going to have like extinct down here, which basically means that you can't run it anymore after that period of time. And then, yeah, I mean, you can come in here and find whatever mechs you want. Build yourself a lance. It shows you the battle value on the side here. You can hit configure on the mech to change your piloting and gunnery skill. You could come in here, configure this. Maybe you don't want regular SRM ammo. Maybe you want tandem charge or acid ammo or something like that, right? And maybe this you want this to come in as a reinforcement on round 3 or something, right? And maybe you want to name your pilot, and hey, if you want to give them some of those fancy piloting skills. All right, guys. So, like, as far as I can tell, there is no way to give your pilots specific pilot abilities in the 48 version. It doesn't really matter because the MRC doesn't use those at all. So, not really the biggest deal for that. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can do. You can add the bot, like I said. So you come in here, hit add bot, right? And then if you're adding a combat unit, now let's say we wanted to give an archer, but we wanted to give it to the AI, so the AI would get that instead. And now you can see that the mechs are 2 different colors, right? So you've got your color scheme here. You can come in here and maybe you're playing Kurita. You can give yourself, you know, a specific paint scheme. And you can also individually set the camo of each individual mech. So maybe you want a white one here and then set an individual camo. Maybe this one you want to be, you know, green and white, right? Something like that. Very important because you will have to pick out a commander in certain situations, right? Like the Lance leader. So you want to be able to denote him with a specific color. But yeah, that's basically Megamek. And, you know, kind of a quick overview on how to use it. I'll leave a link in the description on how to get this installed on your PC. It does require a little bit of finagling. You've kind of got to like make sure that you don't have Java installed and then install a newer version of Java. Otherwise it might like break your computer pretty badly. So just be careful with that. You know, it's actually really easy. Most computers don't have Java anymore, so just, you know, make sure it's not there, then get it installed and follow the instructions in the video. I've installed, you know, 5-6 different versions of this on here for various things. You know, one guy wants to run a campaign using this version, and then the MRC uses the 48 version, which is the current stable version. Hopefully, in the near future, they're going to be releasing a new stable version, which will be like version 50.0 or something like that. But the devs for this have been working on this project for a very, very long time. And I'll just get in here quickly. Oh yeah, we got to. So you can come in here and configure yourself. Oops, wrong. Sorry. I'm used to the newer versions for some things, but then yeah, you just go in here and change start, north, south. You go to the map, and there's a lot of like pre-built maps. And if you go here, you can hit view game board, and it'll give you a view of the board. That one's pretty open. You know, you don't want that necessarily. You got to double click and bring it over. So view game board. Oh yeah, we've got like a place with some hills and stuff. And then you can say, all right, well, you know, we've got some, you know, an archer on the enemy team. Why don't we just go ahead and change that camo scheme so it's easier to pick them out, right? Let's say, sure, this one. That's, you know, doesn't really matter. And if you hit undone, it'll launch the game, and it'll give you your initiative rolls there. And then you just pop your mechs onto the board, right? And as you remember, my Wolverine was supposed to be a reinforcement. Now, I do have what's called double blind enabled, so you can see all the sort of like blacked out squares or hexes. This is what I can actually see, these lit up ones, and then my line of sight is not you know, complete on the other areas. So if we run over here, we'll probably be able to see the enemy. Okay, yeah, now you can see I've moved. And you can see that the enemy mech is now in range and view, hiding in the forest there. And if we click on that mech, it is now the shooting phase. We've moved past the movement phase because there was only 2 mechs. Now you can see that I've got my large lasers here on the crab. If we go through, we can see systems. We can see where all of the individual equipment is stored. Right, so we've got the heat sinks in the legs, classic crab move, right? 1 heat sink in each torso, which is great for crit padding, right? And then you can see its armor and its heat scale here under the armor. Pilot will show you its gunnery and piloting. And then this sort of gives you a good overview of like a lot of stuff about it. It shows you how far you ran, right? So we've got that 1 target movement modifier from running 3. Walk 5, run 8. That's our max move speed, obviously. And there's like a million different like optional rules. If you've looked through all the different like optional rule books and stuff for Battletech, you know that there's tons and tons and tons of optional rules, and pretty much all of them seem to be available as long as you've got a more recent version. This older version will have all of the older books, but it might not have the most updated, most recent rule sets. Anyways, if we go back here to weapons, right, we see we've got our medium lasers out of range, unfortunately. We do have our 2 large lasers, right? So we click on the mech, and we can hit fire, fire, and we hit done. And then it'll bring us to the resolution of the shooting phase, right? So we can see that the Archer fired 2 LRM-20s on us. They needed 10s, and they missed. And then we fired our 2 large lasers at the Archer, and we only needed 9s because we bumped up our gunnery skill. Both of us ran, and both of us were shooting through 2 forests. Right, and then, oh hey, look at that. We have succeeded at winning initiative, so now we can run up here, and hey, you know what? I'm just going to walk, right? But I want to get close, and I want to get that medium laser in there. Fire, 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 and hey, we'll fire the small laser too. Whatever, right? We're going to go overheat, but not a big deal. Right, so then, oh, look at that. Well, the Archer fired back at us, and it fired off some SRMs and some LRM-20s. We were in that minimum range on the LRM, so it's going to be a higher to hit roll. But yeah, we rolled, we had really great odds to hit there. So we got, a couple of hits, and then, oh, hey, look, the Archer took 20 damage. It automatically does that pilot skill roll check for you, and it failed. Yeah, it needed a 6 and it fell. So falls on its side, takes 7 damage because it's a 70 tonner. Right arm, left torso, just automatically does all of this stuff for you, right? It rolls all of the hit locations, it rolls all of the damage. It will roll crits if there are crits. So like, Megamek is really, really great for running really big games. And it's also really great for running weapons that are normally very time-consuming to use, right? Like the LBX-20, you roll like 15 pellets, you're rolling 15 hit locations. That is a huge amount of hit locations. Even if you're like, rolling multiple sets of dice all at once. I've got my, I've got my red and slightly different red dice, and my white and off-white cream dice, and you can roll 5-6 different sets of dice all at once. But it still takes you a while to like get them together. Like, okay, so we've got, this set of hits, and oh, it's got a crit, and where does the crit go? It takes a while, right? This is much, much faster. So when you can really cut down the time of rolls, and you don't even have to travel anywhere to play this. You can just call up your buddy and say, hey, guess I got some time, man. You want to play some Megamek? We want to throw some mechs down on the field? Hey, yeah, let's do that. And you can play in any era, whatever. If you and your friends want to get a game together, and you're having some trouble, scheduling, this is going to be a faster game, and it also doesn't require you to actually get together. So it's fantastic. Play Megamek with your friends overseas, whatever, right? Anyways, thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Really appreciate it. New channel here. I'm really trying to, build the audience a little bit. So if you could leave a like, share, subscribe, that would be fantastic. Leave any comments below if you've got any good tips for people who are looking to get into Megamek or Battletech in general. And we'll see you in the next one. Have a great day, guys.